to the Five-A-Side podcast. I'm joined by Mr. Ross Dewar.
Good evening.
Mr. Sick Billy.
Good evening.
Craig Gregor and his dinosaur.
Evening.
And Matthew Thompson.
Hello, folks.
We start recording and he buzzes instantly. We have 3 games to talk about this week. We would have had 4, but Dundee decided to have a game postponed on their shitty pitch again. So Craig has watched in detail every single game, all 90 minutes from every game that we're going to talk about. And he's going to tell you about St Mirren 0, Motherwell 0. Some game, wasn't it, Craig?
Oh, it was a really good game, that St Mirren game. It was quite end-to-end game, to be fair. But there wasn't really much quality from either team that I've seen to get the win. I think the 0-0 was probably the result you could see coming from the start, which does give St Mirren their 4th consecutive draw in that search for top 6.
It was nearly a monsoon when the game was on, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't imagine that would have helped, to be fair.
Terrible weather.
I think it was obvious it was going to be a draw. That was why I predicted a draw. I'm sure we'll go on to predictions later, but that game, honours split, and I think that's fair
Tell
enough.
you what, St Mirren has stagnated lately.
Stagnated? Have they ever really got off the ground?
Undefeated.
But they're doing really well this season.
The point did mean that it's now mathematically impossible for Kelly to finish top 6. They're the only team that are mathematically impossible for them
We're all
now.
concerned that they would finish top 6.
They had that chance.
Thank you, Craig, for that stat that you've probably stolen off Pie and Bovril, I imagine.
Definitely wasn't Pine Bovril. Shout out to Pine Bovril. But
yeah. I feel like a draw was probably fairly inevitable, wasn't it? But I expected maybe a goal from St Mirren, because, well, you've got to take advantage of the fact that Motherwell are on a fairly poor run at the moment.
yeah, you've got to say it's not like it's a good result, but Motherwell needed something to get themselves off that, like 4-1 against Hamilton and then 3-0 against St Johnstone. These teams around them that they need to be trying to pick something up off of, and they just get hammered in both games. So they had to get something to try and get back into it. And I believe they've still got to play Kelly before the split, so that'll be a big win for them as well.
That's an easy 3 points. I think I've already said this before, but an easy 3 points for them against Kelly.
Apart from
Kelly
that,
going
not
down.
Nah, I'm still adamant Ross
I've
County
said
are
it
going.
and I'm
Ross
standing
County
by
are
it.
going down.
No.
Nah.
Kelly for me.
The only thing they're good for this season is beating Celtic, but everyone's done it.
Ross County are away to St Mirren at the weekend, so they're gonna.
I was about to
so
say,
a big win.
everyone's
Lost
done
anyway
it.
to St Mirren. We'll see how that goes. Apart from that, I seen someone saying there was a penalty shout in the Motherwell St Mirren game. I didn't see it myself. I don't know where I just missed it, or where it wasn't deemed a good enough highlight, which probably means it wasn't a penalty.
Yep, that's exactly spot on. I'll not add anything to that.
Yeah, I didn't also didn't see anything, so nothing to add on to that
No.
statement. But
Never
yeah,
a penalty.
nothing really else to talk about in that game, is there?
Not really.
No.
It's been an exciting week, midweek of football. Well, apart from today, maybe. But
We'll get on to that. Inverness.
And in Inverness.
That's what I was about to jump into Inverness.
There'll be
We're
some
going to head
jump.
up to Inverness as they took on Alloa in a thrilling 2-each draw, and Matt's going to give us his comments on it.
Yeah, I watched this game in depth. It's fresh in my mind. From the looks of the game, mostly Inverness. I think Inverness fans can be happy with how they've played since they came back from not playing football and playing some shinty for a couple of weeks. Probably a bit disappointed to not get all 3 points, but overall you can say it's a good point for Alloa. I just fear at the moment as an Ayr United fan, or sort of Ayr United fan, when I see teams like Alloa getting points.
Well, I think that was the best result
Gives
for
me the
it, to be
fear.
fair, because it keeps Inverness within distance of them.
But it gives
As much
Alloa
as,
hope.
as much
Yeah.
as they are in ninth place, you do have to look behind you when you're in there. You've also got to look ahead of you in this league when it's so tight.
Yeah, it is a very tight league, and
No, I
with
agree.
all these draws that have been happening recently and shock results, as you would say, it makes it tighter and more competitive, more enjoyable, more sort of exciting. Whatever game when you don't really know who's going to win. Because I
Right.
mean, did anyone think it was going to be a draw?
I believe Matt did,
Of course they did.
Myself? Did I not go on each?
and Billy
Yeah,
maybe.
Billy's
No,
the
you
only
did.
one. Yeah,
You did, Bill.
nah, just Billy. Billy's the only one that thought
Oh,
it would be
just
a draw.
Billy.
It's all right. Well, they're just forgetting about.
Oh yeah,
They're just
no,
forgetting about the front
Matt
runners.
thought
It's
Alloa
all right.
was-
I thought I
yeah,
had the
that's what it
draw
was.
for the other game.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I have faith in
Alloa
Alloa.
went ahead fairly early, 20 minutes in, through some. I mean, it's decent play from Alloa and to get to where it was, but then the goalkeeper kind of just gives them the open net, doesn't he?
Well, it was just a very slap pass from Inverness to give the ball back to Alloa, and then just a simple through ball, and his Cameron just skips past the
It's a
goalie.
decent through ball though.
Yeah, that's a decent through ball. Yeah,
And then the goalkeeper run. Well, the goalkeeper actually can't decide whether he's coming or going. I think it looks like he's kind of half thinking about coming out, and then he's shouting at his team for giving away the ball.
I think you've got to put that down to the quality of the through ball, though. Cause you put it into that position where you question the goalkeeper.
Oh, you can't decide.
Yeah.
Craig knows all about that from pro clubs,
I
doesn't he?
do, but I'm evidently really good at deciding when to bring the goalkeeper out. So we'll leave that there.
That's-
But I mean, apart from that, it was just Inverness dominance for the rest of the first half.
Are we actually going to give Craig? He knows how to bring the goalkeeper out, and we're just letting him get away with it.
We're just no. I was just going to leave that. And we'll argue about that later, but not on the podcast because it would take up far too much time.
I just thought we were going to edit it out.
No. Yeah,
I just
and
edited it out.
honestly, the best part of the game was the closing sort of 15 minutes with 3 goals being scored and a penalty being missed as well.
Yeah, well, Inverness did miss a. Well, they didn't miss a. They had the ball in the back of the net in the first half, but it was ruled out for a foul. I
Which
mean,
Matt didn't agree with.
I
Matt was
also
upset about that.
do not agree with. Really, it's soft.
It's soft. I don't know. I need to see it again. You know, I only seen it once, but even I don't know. At first glance, I didn't really see what they were given. But you know what? It's the officials, and we know the officials in Scotland are good.
I think you've,
So we'll
I think
assume
you've
they got that
misspoken
one
there.
right.
You've said the word corrupt wrong.
Sorry, did I lag? I meant penalty to Rangers. Sorry.
Sorted.
Just another triggered fan.
Yep. Yeah, but Inverness got their equaliser through Duffy, the right back.
I believe so.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
This is
thank
one
you.
good Duffy
I was
in Scotland.
looking for confirmation.
I'm fighting for that one from Jer.
And he scores a cracker of a goal with his left foot.
It's a very good goal.
As Matt
Reminds me
said,
of a prime me.
the right back with the left foot. Is that what it reminds you of?
Yeah,
Is
that's,
that a prime Craig?
I was a left back with the right foot though.
Oh my god. Getting old tonight.
That was my dad. To be fair.
Well, Craig's not your dad. so-
Craig's dad.
Well,
No, that's true. I can actually see Craig every now and then. Take that, Dad.
Hope Matt's dad listens.
Straight after that goal though, Inverness went and got a second
Yeah, I'll-
to put himself in front. Nice wee cross into the middle. We half volley in, make it 2-1.
goal.
Yep,
Bang.
yep, goal. And very shortly after that, Inverness were awarded a penalty, a Stonewall penalty.
It was indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, can't
Can't
argue
put your
too
hands
much
up like
on
that. And I'd like to credit the referee here. He got himself in a very good position to see it.
Oh my god, I'm ready to lie down here. Oh
Are
my
you?
lord. I'm going to have a nap.
So Inverness actually probably thought they won the game when they won that penalty, make it
They
3-1.
really probably thought they did, to be honest.
But they missed it. It was well saved. But
They did.
I've seen better penalties though.
Gash penalty, I was going to say. But I'm not allowed to use that word. Because I've been
good
banned
save,
by
but
Mr.
I've seen
Entertainment. Yeah, it's a poor run of form penalty.
It was.
That one's for you, Mr. Entertainment. Yeah. Alloa, Inverness also. They probably did think they had the game won, to be honest. At 2-1, going to the last few minutes of the game. And then
well, they had the ball in the back
Alloa.
of it again, which was also ruled out for offside. So they had the ball in the back of the net 4 times, and they missed a penalty, but they drew the game 2 each.
Yep. Well, they're probably thinking, there's 3 minutes to go. Surely we can hold on to a win here. Nope. Let's give away a penalty. And let's give away a goal.
Yeah, Alan Troughton, Agent
Craig's
Troughton,
favourite
here
player.
to get Inverness closer to Ayr. I don't know.
Yep. So just anything about air. That's all
Well,
you're
Agent
thinking about.
Ennis Cameron as well. He got the first. So.
Obsessed.
He's obsessed with
Obsessed.
air. Surprisingly, he's wearing an air top again tonight. This time it's not covered in curry sauce.
It's a lovely
This time it's covered in gravy.
purple and green number. Some people don't like
Craig
it.
doesn't
Some people
eat
do.
gravy.
Yep.
So yeah, that 2 each, point shared in Inverness.
Point shared in the championship table looks like insert picture of championship table here.
Well, leaves Alloa 4 points behind Ayr, but Ayr do have 2 games in hand. And
So they'll still be 4 points behind.
well, possibly. One of those games in hand is against Dundee. That's an easy win.
Okay, so they'll be 5 points behind.
It's not going to
It's
go
not going to go ahead. Eventually,
It
going
will
on
never
to
get
that game,
played. It will never get
It's the
played.
4th time this game's been
I
postponed.
mean,
You just have to
everyone
get rid
loves
of the
water
points at this point.
football.
Yep.
Should be the rules.
Um,
You get 4 attempts.
At this point, just assume it's a draw.
You get 4 armbands, go and play.
Yep.
don't know what
Inverness
the
can
other
still,
7 players
Inverness
are
can
gonna
still
do.
propel themselves up the table fairly nicely with their games in hand on the teams above them.
Yep.
It's
So
just,
can
a bit,
Dundee, they've missed that many
I'd
games
say
at
if
this
they won
point as
all their
well.
games in hand, they'd go up to second.
it's just a big clusterfuck
Yeah,
with all the
that's
games in hand in that game, that league.
As I'm actually looking at it, and
Yep.
every team's played all these different amounts of games.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I like
And
it.
it is again, they're a
Well-
shortened season, the championship as well.
Yeah, 27 games. So. Alloa only 10 games left.
We're in the tail end.
But actually, yeah, it actually again brings up the.
They are dog shit.
Do you want to not talk, please? Again, also brings up the League One and League Two debacle in Scotland of what they do with their leagues. I've seen a few theories out there, but has anyone got any thinking behind that?
Yeah, I've seen a few suggestions like try and play out a certain number of games, or just maybe try and play the games, but then maybe play into the summer. I just can't see anything happening. They're not going to start until mid-March at the earliest, if they're allowed to start then. And then you're giving themselves a month and a bit, and some of them's got as much as 18 games to play or that. So
I still
Like a
see it.
busy schedule.
I see those two leagues as being the only real option is to stop the leagues, and I think at that point you can't really award anything from some of them only played like 8 games or something.
yeah,
So
null and
Yeah.
void really has to be the only option for those.
null and void. I seen someone.
Have we considered? Yeah, have we considered relegating
You know,
Park?
as
yeah,
much as
that-
it would be funny, I think we should do it actually. Yeah,
just
someone
do
phone
it.
up Neil.
I see,
Yeah, just chuck.
I
Mr.
did see.
Johnstone.
I see someone suggested wait until the start of next season and continuing on from the points that they have right now, but doesn't
No,
I think that would.
finish till
that's
next season.
fucking mental.
No.
Sorry,
I know.
that's-
Yeah, I seen that suggestion and I read it and then I did a double take. I did a double take and I was like, yeah, no, that doesn't add up, does it? Because that would have been, oh yeah, we've not played since November, but we're going to just start in August with new games
Yeah,
at the
Continue.
same points.
it caused so much financial problems for those clubs as well to the like not having a full season next season again, and then yeah, I think
I think the best thing is probably
for
to
me.
cancel the league and then look at getting, oh god, and then look at getting back into stadiums hopefully as early as possible into next season.
yeah,
I think August. I think August you'll see some fans back in stadiums. I don't think it'll be as Scotland was
I re-
far going as England with that.
I reckon maybe we might see some fans like pre-season friendlies maybe because a lot of them aren't that greatly attended anyway.
I think we will see some fans at the Euros as well. I don't think it'll
True.
be obviously it won't be a full capacity Hampden, but
Well,
I think-
have you,
Oh, well, it never
have you
is.
seen the UEFA's plans?
yeah, to make it in just in England as well. I
Just
don't
in
know
England.
how they'll get away. Not how they'll get away with it. How that will work out. It's a strange one for that as well because they're not
I
exactly
suppose
miles ahead in terms of battling the virus.
it's probably easier though to have it in one country than
It is, yeah, and
12.
England probably is the easiest one. They've got the facilities in place to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bill, you've talked about a European competition, so that brings us nicely on to this evening's game, which one of us is fresh from watching. Craig's probably half watched it, and that is Rangers walking fairly comfortably past Antwerp into the round of 16. 5-2 Rangers. Ross Dewar, you were at the match again.
I was at the match again in my bedroom for a consecutive number of weeks. I was there and I experienced it. Top class. All I'm going to say is, what a game. What a great tie. It had everything. It had red cards. It had great goals.
The first game had a red card.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's why I said the tie.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad. Sorry, I'm not with it.
And
I think Rangers they played really well. They fully deserve to go through, and we'll see how far they can go this competition.
I think it all depends really on the draw tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow they're drawing?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's tomorrow. Yeah,
Tomorrow for midday. So there's some good teams still in the Europa League. To be fair,
There's 6 teams through so far. Oh, 7 teams through so far. 6 that Rangers can get.
Shakhtar Donetsk, Ajax, Villarreal, Mold, Granada are in
Arsenal.
the hat from today, and Arsenal.
I think someone like
Um,
Mold would be probably one of the more
Mold,
favourable ties.
Granada maybe.
Spurs as well.
I mean, they bet Napoli. I mean, that,
Yeah.
AC Milan, Roma. They're probably going to end up being through as well.
United.
Man United.
I think Man United's the one team they want to avoid.
Yeah. They'll probably go the full way.
It would be interesting to see Rangers against like an Arsenal or a Tottenham.
Yeah, or even a Leicester, just like any of the English clubs.
Yeah,
See how they can
see how they fare.
perform.
Certainly, obviously, Arsenal scraped past Benfica and Rangers gave Benfica a very good game. So
Yeah, well, you drew twice with Benfica. And
And
Arsenal
it
beat
was
them once.
it was like a year ago.
you're really
so
clutching on straws there. And it wasn't
There-
a year
yeah,
ago.
there's
So
a
what was the
lot-
Arsenal score?
They won
won
3-2 in aggregate.
there's a lot of
No, no,
people
no,
asking for
3-2. Alright, okay.
4-3 in aggregate.
There's a lot of people that are saying that
Mm.
they want Rangers to get an English team.
But yeah, it's because it would bring up that old argument again of where would Rangers finish in the league. So put them up against a
I think. Oh, Matt, can you mute yourself, please?
put them up against
Okay.
a Spurs or
Why can
an
I still
Arsenal,
hear him?
the Leicester, even
Well,
Man United. Obviously, want to avoid, but I'd be interested to see how they would fare against Man United because
I think it would be that one of those ones. It would be like quite good, not quite good. It'd be funny though if they were to draw like a Tottenham or an Arsenal or a Leicester or a Man United and then beat them.
and beat them. Yeah,
It'd be quite funny just to see the English meltdown.
I think though the empty stadiums have a lot to play a part because I think
I'd agree.
if Rangers
Slightly.
got one of the English teams at home at Ibrox, I could potentially see an upset there.
yeah. I think the fans in would be a massive boost for Rangers or Celtic in Europe. I think that was one of the main reasons Celtic didn't do quite so well in Europe this season.
I
Was
think
because of that.
I agree.
It's played a big part.
We'd have won 10 in a row.
Yeah.
With fans, we'd have won
Oh.
10.
It's played a big part for
Well,
me.
normally you
but
play players, not fans, but hey ho.
it's played a big part for me. I think for
Would be better playing fans.
I think for a lot of clubs though it's played a big part. It's not just like Celtic or
Yeah.
Rangers that have been influenced by it. The only team that is sort of benefiting is Manchester City down in England
Yeah, they don't
because
have
they
any
never
fans.
really have fans anyway.
They
Yeah, but
used
you
to.
do see that with the amount of there's more away wins this season than any other season. You see that obviously
Well, actually,
because of the fans.
it was straight away in German football when they came back. There was quite a lot of different results. Like the better teams weren't winning as easily at home because they didn't have their support. But also, if they went away and it was like a team that's usually hard because their support are loud, it wasn't the same.
I think we all agree that the better the fans come, the quicker the fans come back to football, the better.
But the only team that I see really benefited from having no fans is Scotland. Apparently, we turn into world class when there's no fans. And we qualify for tournaments.
True. But I didn't. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize the Leicester game's on right now, and it's a 0-0.
It is now. I
On
believe
aggregate
it was
as well,
one
so
each in the first leg. I think
No,
it was 0-0 in the first leg as well. Yeah,
0-0 in the first leg. Yeah.
yeah.
So that could be an interesting one to who gets through in that one.
Yeah, it was back to the Scottish team versus English team. You've seen Aberdeen doing it against Burnley a few seasons ago. It took Burnley to extra time to actually beat Aberdeen, which I think
I think it was
not
a
even.
stinking night up in Aberdeen
Yeah.
as well when they played them. But that's two teams that are fairly used to playing in windy conditions, so they probably should have been better.
Yeah, well, and because of the performances in Europe from teams, we have 5 European teams next season. 2 guaranteed group stages for first place and third place, or third place / Scottish Cup winner. Celtic don't have a guaranteed group stage, but they do have free opportunity to win one game to get a guaranteed group stage.
You've got to laugh though. It's quite funny that we're approaching the point where the whole top 6 of the Scottish Premiership could be in playing European football, but the top 6 you've got teams you could have teams like St Mirren getting in around a European
We
football.
had teams like Kelly getting European football for.
That's true, exactly. We had Kelly a couple of years ago.
They did get
Motherwell.
embarrassed.
They got embarrassed, but I don't know. Yeah,
Still a coefficient point.
that's the thing. It just makes me laugh a little bit, to be honest, thinking about it.
Will be interesting in that fight for third place. Well, providing either Rangers Celtic win the Scottish Cup or the Scottish Cup doesn't finish, the third place battle for Hibs and Aberdeen to who gets it. Because guaranteed group stage European football isn't something that Hibs and Aberdeen will have experienced much, really.
Do they get what is third place qualifiers for Europa League? But they get
Yeah, and if they lose that, they
guaranteed
automatically
in
win to
the
the
new one conference.
The conference, which is no walkover to be honest, because I've seen that apparently in the conference playoffs, there's going to be teams like Napoli and Everton and stuff like that as it stands right now.
I mean, you could have the likes of. You could end up having like an Ajax or something in there as well.
Yeah.
They've had to play qualifiers the past couple of seasons for Champions League.
Even the Champions League playoffs is looking absolutely rocks. I don't know where you've seen, but as it stands right now, Celtic could get PSG in the Champions League playoff
That's unbelievable.
if they win their first game.
Celtic would love to see Neymar again, I'm sure.
I hope Neymar dies.
Look, I mean, those views don't represent us all.
They
Anyway,
don't. I like Neymar.
Jura, any thoughts on any of the goals for Rangers?
I felt Ryan Kent's goal where Morelos like skipped by a guy was sensational. Like it was just so good. Even Nathan Patterson's goal as well. 16 seconds coming on off the bench.
Hope we
Again,
don't
Morelos.
celebrate that one too much tonight.
Yep. Actually, I've got to stop you, Jura, because your most favourite football pundit out there is called Rangers hugely impressive tonight. And that's Mr. Michael Stewart, who you always rave about.
I thought it was going to be Chris Sutton.
No. He doesn't go on about Chris Sutton as much. He hates Michael Stewart though. He's got some sort of problem with him.
To clarify for listeners, I don't have a problem with Michael Stewart. I just disagree with what he says.
I thought you were going to say he's got a problem with you.
Sorry, just apologies, Michael, if you are listed. If you are listed, Michael, we're sorry about that.
And Hadji was not a waste of
Michael,
5 million.
Michael, please listen, Michael.
If you are listening, Michael, feel free to contact us to come on the podcast.
I'll not be there.
I have. I've seen from you saying that. What was it you said? Morelos is immense or something.
Yeah, and Morelos was sensational.
For someone who doesn't have a lot of pace, he sure burned that guy. Like he's not known for his outstanding pace, but
He's known for his belly.
yeah.
He's for his ability. You're right, Ferg.
There was a good fair play moment from Morelos as well. When the one guy pulled up and Morelos was left with, I think it was like a 2-on-3 attack. Morelos decided to stop. Don't think the other players are
the
happy with.
Scottish media will hate to see that. They'll hate to see Morelos win the Fair Play Award.
Yeah, well, he won the UEFA Fair Play Award this season for stopping the game.
They gave it to a
Someone's gotta
manager
win
that
it.
spies on folk. So I like the standards that high for fair play.
I liked Lukaku, Romelu, tweeting about it, and then like the third comment down is like, "You're still a Fenian bastard, though."
To clarify, that was
no
not
place for
Ferris
a
comments. That was someone on Twitter.
It was someone. It was the third comment down on the tweet.
Quotations.
Was someone
Also
else called him.
clarify,
Yeah.
there's no place for sectarianism. In
There's not.
There's not.
No.
I just found it a little bit amusing. I think it's because he tweeted once someone was like Celtic or Rangers, and he replied and he was like Celtic, and for some reason people got really upset about that. He only said that because his cousin played for Celtic. Yeah. Played because he will never play for us again.
Can't
I
we?
think he's probably the best left back you've got.
No,
So
great.
Rangers into the next round. Who you want in roster? Who's your ideal pick?
Who's my ideal?
Yeah.
Probably someone like Mould. If I want a glamorous tie, I'd say Arsenal. I reckon we'd probably give them a decent go. Or actually Tottenham as well. I think either of the two would.
He's picked 3 teams here.
Yes,
You can't play everybody.
Well, they might. You should just listen that Mould next round, then Arsenal the
True.
round after, then Tottenham, then United in the final.
I think for me, Ajax would be an interesting one.
Yeah, obviously we've played Willem. We bet them, but they're mid-table from Holland.
Yeah, it'll be a interesting tie no matter who they get. To be honest, Be good to see how they get on.
Right. Is Matt up for it? Is Matt there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you think your internet's good enough for you to go through your St Johnstone all-time 11?
I think so. Yeah. Right, give me a minute. We'll fill this gap with elevator
Okay.
music if you've got any. I need to get the date up. Right. Here we go. Now, as you can imagine, I took this very seriously. I've put in my research.
Well,
Avid
it has
St.
taken
Johnstone
it
fan.
has taken you a couple of weeks, and the listeners are dying to hear it.
It didn't take me a couple of weeks. It took me all of 10 minutes. And let's see.
We do get messages every week, like, where is Matt's St. Johnstone 11?
We're
Yeah.
actually fed up of people asking where's Matt's and Johnstone 11, so here we are.
Right, 1 minute. Here we
I
go.
get DMs all the time asking me, why has Matt
Mm-hmm.
not done that bloody St Johnstone 11 yet?
Right,
I'm
okay.
quite excited to hear it because apparently it doesn't have Stevie May in it, and I'm quite outraged about that.
No, I don't. Also don't have a bench. So if I did have a bench, it also wouldn't have Stevie May
No, you
on
don't
it,
get a bench.
apparently.
It's an 11. It's a St
Yeah, no,
Johnstone
exactly.
11,
But I'm
Matt.
just saying, if
Come
it was a St Johnson's squad, I'd maybe put them in there.
Johnson 18.
on. What about the reserves?
I could go on all day about St Johnson if you gave me the chance.
Team.
Okay,
Right.
so
Over to you.
for me personally, what made my all-time St Johnson side the ability to beat Rangers. That's all it is. It's all that matters. So if you cast yourself back to the 16th of December 2017 at 3 o'clock, presumably a Saturday, St Johnstone beat Rangers 3-1. Right? And that is the start 11 that I think is the best ever St Johnstone 11. So let me take you through it. In this, we have the staple of St Johnstone, Xander Clark. Right, there's going to be no arguments there. None. None.
He's a good goalie.
He is.
Could have went for Alan Mannis, but okay.
Yeah, but I didn't. You want to do your St Johnstone 11?
Fair enough. I don't have one prepared.
Next week's Billy St
Let's
Johnstone
let
11.
him do
Let
his.
Matt speak then.
Left back. I find we'll
I've
start
taught
right
myself
back.
that
We'll start right back because we're civilised. I don't know why I put in Richard Foster. What a player. Career has really taken off.
Finalist.
He is a cup finalist. I know he hates the Rangers given his spells playing for them. Definitely deserves my place in there. That centre half staple of Shaughnessy and Anderson. Only conceded the one goal. That was from Morelos, and they did take the lead that game. They took the lead in the 5th minute. But we're going to come on to our other fullback, which is Scott Tanzer. He was playing left back that game. Another, you know what? He's a servant now of St Johnstone. A few years there. Into the midfield, Paul Payton. I think that explains itself. Ran the show that day. I remember it well.
Does.
We're going to go into two sort of. I should specify the formation. Sorry, it is a 4-1-4-1 basically. That's how they played it. So after Paul Payton, just in front of them, we've got Chris Miller, and we have Skugel as well. Two great players. Any of them got the goals, unfortunately. The St Johnstone goals, ironically, well, we'll explain the goals in just a second. On the right mid, we had Aston. Aston was the guy that got St Johnstone level. And on the other side, we had Liam Craig. And we all know Liam Craig. He did take a booking that game. But he's also another veteran for the Saints. He's been there for years after Hibs. And up front, in my all-time St Johnstone 11, we have Denny Johnson. And to me, that just screams volumes about what's great about this team. The names. The names. And that is the player that scored. Yeah, he gave them the lead. Just saying, Aston made it one each.
Wow,
Johnson
well done.
scored the second goal. And then it was Graham Cummins who came off the bench to seal the victory and cement history, I would like to say, as they managed to find 3 goals. I don't know how they managed to get through that centre half partnership of Danny Wilson and Bruno Alves, but they did it. And I guess they might have went down the side of Declan John, and back then James Tavernier also wasn't the best defender in the world, so yeah. That is my all-time St Johnstone 11. I look forward to hearing Billy's next week. Hopefully he comes prepared.
Yeah.
If you would like to pick another team,
I can't believe this is becoming a segment.
I mean, look, if you prefer,
You know, Matt is
all-time Hamilton 11's available.
Everyone's St Johnson 11.
he's done. You know what Matt's done? Matt has done. He's just done the most like Celtic daft thing ever. And just went. When did they last beat Rangers? There you go. That team.
But they didn't just
Oh, what a player
they
he
didn't
is.
just beat them.
What player
They
he
didn't
is.
just beat them. 3-1. 3-1. So yeah, that's my all-time St
3-1.
Johnstone 11.
Okay, I thought he was getting like something more. Thank you, Matt. We'll very swiftly move on from that. Talk about the biggest news of the week, the best news of the week, and the resignation, the shock resignation of Neil Francis Lennon from Celtic Football Club. I, for one, was
Devastated.
no.
Distraught.
No, I was going to say delighted, but at the same time, I woke up in the morning and I had a couple of notifications on my phone, so I was like, I'll open that. And I thought it was just someone joking, like, oh, Neil's actually gone. I was like, oh, yeah, because all the rumours the night before were Neil Lennon's going to resign in the next 24 hours. But it was something like 7:20 or whatever that they announced that his resignation had gone through, which is the second time this year that Celtic have announced something quite big at that early time in the morning. So, yeah, it shocked, but I don't know. There's a weird sort of like sense of like odd clarity. I was like, it doesn't feel real that he's gone. It doesn't feel real that he's resigned.
No.
Even. I'm glad he's finally gone, but at the same time, fuck you, because we all know that he's only left to save his name
Yeah.
slightly, isn't he?
He's only won all those trophies.
So, I'd like to just take this minute to quote the great poet Gordon Sawyers. I'm raging. That's how I feel. I'm not happy.
Well, yeah, you did message when I said that I was like, finally it's done, and you were like, unhappy.
That is the word.
That's the word.
Like,
unhappy.
don't get me wrong, I'm not going to make an argument that the guy deserved his job, but he didn't not deserve his job more than he didn't deserve his job 4 months ago. We haven't gotten worse in the last 4 months.
Yeah. That was kind
Yeah,
of
my
point,
logic
that
is
it
the
was too
fact that
late.
he put us in the position that we're in just now, and if if Rangers are to turn up to Celtic Park and win the title there, that he should be the man that takes the brunt of it out, and he's ran off to save face, and he's left it to his assistants to clean up the mess, and I don't support that.
See, to be
It
fair,
is a tad embarrassing.
yeah. But for that point, if it was to be like, oh yeah, Rangers are going to win, like go to Celtic Park, win the league there, and he was in the dugout, you'd almost kind of want fans, so he actually had to like face the music in a way. Whereas if he was in the dugout for that, it's just like he turns around, walks down the tunnel at the end of the day, and fucks off. It's the same sort of situation in my eyes. He's just, at the end of the day, he's not really actually facing anything, apart from the fact that he's lost it. But I think he'd already lost it anyway, and that's his mind, not the league.
So, who do you want in?
I'm going to start with Ross because he was quite vocal about who he wanted in
Well,
the group chat.
who I feel is the best manager, or who realistically?
Okay, so you can do three. You can do who you think's the best, who you realistically think Celtic will get, and who would be your banter set the Celtic signing because you're a Rangers fan.
So best you could get would be Rafa Benitez. But I know he's currently in the running for the Napoli job, which I probably think he'll end up getting. I think the most realistic one would be Eddie Howe. Quite a good coach. I feel he'd probably bring a bit of structure, and you wouldn't concede every set piece the other team takes. My banter one would be Gavin Strachan.
All right. Billy, who do you think?
Right, so if Celtic were to push the boat out, well, Rafa is not going to go to Celtic, primarily because he's holding out for a job in the Premier League in England or in Serie A. So that then narrows the pool to who you think will get in. And I know Eddie Howe's name has been touted, but I don't think he'll get it either, because he turned down the Bristol City job to actively pursue a job that's going in the English Premier League once an opportunity arises. So I don't think he will come to Celtic unless the lure of European football sways him. I think he'll want somewhere still down south, because prior circumstances state that when he goes away from too far away from home, he gets homesick. I don't think being in the cauldron pool of Glasgow will do anything good to that. So that really narrows the field now. Who do Celtic get? It's an incredibly difficult decision for Celtic. They have two options. Do they go the tried and tested route of an experienced manager, or do they go for a young coach like a Frank Lampard or John Terry, to maybe offer a different dynamic, or do they go for an experienced campaigner who's been there, done it, and won it?
Can I just interject? Frank Lampard, if you're listening, fuck off. That is all.
So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. I think the two names that have been touted, I don't think will get it. So I think it's maybe wise to maybe suggest other candidates. But at this point in time, I don't think the band of candidates isn't strong enough for me to make a definite decision.
Who's your banter?
I'm not a Rangers fan, so I don't really have a banter candidate.
Craig, I'm assuming your choice is anyone but Steve Clark.
It's not I'm not like too like, oh, Steve Clark must stay in the Scotland job, because he's not like he's came out and he's won every game. He's not been outstanding. Fair enough, he's got to a tournament, but he's replaceable if the time was to come where he was to leave Celtic. Obviously, that would be after was to leave Scotland. Obviously, that would be after the Euros, I presume. Although I'm not a Rangers fan, Jared did miss out on a good banter one. Who I seen climbing the betting list today was Craig Levine, which would be hilarious. But yeah, I think Eddie Howe really is the main one. I've just looked there and I've seen Thierry Henry's making his way up the list. He has said he's leaving. He has said he's leaving Montreal to come to London, but
Yeah.
I believe he's going for the Bournemouth
Stay
job
there.
apparently. So have to wait and see. He did a really good job with Montreal.
The regular MLS fan.
The joke was he did not do a good job. He also did not do a good job with Monaco.
Oh,
But you,
He's done a good job anyway.
you said stay away Frank Lampard, Ferg, but you have to look at Derby right now and look at where Frank got them and
sorry.
realise that Frank didn't do that bad a job down in England.
No, Craig, no. That has nothing to do with his coaching ability. That's to do with the fact that he's Frank Lampard and he's a wanker. That is it. That is the only reason I'd say fuck off. It's nothing to do with.
it's nice to see your criteria for picking a manager.
managerial credentials or anything. Just
Can't be wanker. That is the number one rule.
can't be wanker.
think,
So that really
He's a
just
manager
counts out
for
lots.
years.
I think if Gerrard was to stay, I think the Lampard Gerrard era in Scottish football would be quite an interesting one to watch.
No.
So that is
He's
that's
trying
who I
not
hope
to
Celtic
cry.
go for. I hope they go for Frank Lampard.
Hello.
Matt,
Right. Okay. So realistically, I have no idea. If I'm being honest with you, every candidate that gets put forward, I have issues with. Eddie Howe seems like the kind of guy I'd like to take Celtic forward as a sort of project. Even managers like Rafa, to me, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would be here for 5, 6 years. He would just come, win a title, hopefully, and then piss off somewhere else. So that's not really who I want. Um, my ideal signing, if he were to come, would be Pep Guardiola. I think I think if we could get him, I mean, Rod Stewart said he went on Talksport today and said that he could give him a call. He must know him. So a bit of talking between Rod and no, he
I
says
thought you
that
were
he
touting
thinks Steve
Rod
Clark
Stewart for
should
the
get
job.
it. Honestly, I don't know. Would I take Steve
Okay.
Clark? Possibly. Possibly is the answer to that. I don't honestly know if he would take the job, though. Is the honest question. That's my honest answer, at least. The only thing I could say, yeah, he said himself.
Yeah, I think when he's come out said
Yeah,
about all the
my only thing is I could see him potentially. I don't know how much he enjoys the international side of it, where it's obviously a much quieter schedule. To some people, that's appealing. Some people like that. Some managers will sort of feel held back and will probably want to take on a more hands-on approach, hands-on role. Um, whether that means Celtic, I don't know. So my honest answer is we'll see what happens. I'd just like to see us get back to winning football matches. To be honest, I don't really care who's in charge for the time being. We'll see what happens. So the board's got some time, so I don't know.
All right. Yep. I
moves on to you then.
think it does. My turn.
Mr. Celtic.
So I was looking earlier, and I seen someone tweeted that Arlene Foster now has odds available apparently. So she'd be my banter pick. I think it would be top quality banter if we did that. So ideally, from looking at names that are sort of are being thrown out there, I don't know. Honestly, if you're asking, my ideal candidate, I don't want to go for like Rafa Benitez because, like you said, I don't think he's sort of a long term thing. I think he'd be like a in for a season, win and then leave, and I just don't. I don't think that's what we need at the moment. Personally, at Celtic, we need someone that's actually going to stick around for maybe a couple of seasons. So that would be my problem with Steve Clark as well. I think that he'd very much be a come in, steady the ship for a year, leave, and then someone else would come in and would be like chancing our luck again with that one. Ideally, if I could have anyone I wanted, I'd be going for Roberto Martinez, and I just not important. I just think he'd be a class manager at Celtic, and I think it's very, very unlikely we'd get him. I don't know if he'd leave where he's at the moment, but I think it'd be a good, like a really good appointment to have him. Realistically, if we're talking realistically, Eddie Howe would probably be my pick for like a realistic one that we could get and might end up getting. But from my understanding is that we're looking at bringing in a director of football or like sporting director, whatever, in the next couple of months or whatever. And I imagine that a manager appointment, a permanent managerial appointment, wouldn't happen until a director of football's in and sort of weighed up candidates, as they'd have to work with them more closely.
Craig Levin's got experience as a director of football.
I guess we could hire
No,
him as
that's
director of
plenty.
football, and then he could appoint himself manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, that usually goes well.
He could put himself as manager.
As manager.
Well, I seen it was a good one. It was Craig Craig Levein, director of football, and then Stephen Presley, manager.
Yep.
I mean, Levine is used to not
Yeah,
playing
but
strikers.
I mean,
as
Drew, you've
is,
already mentioned his good
Celtic by
conversion
playing
rate,
Christie up
so
top, so
why wouldn't you?
True.
different set.
So before before
Might reach
before we go
3%
on
this year.
before we go on too much about this, I think looking at the time, we should probably talk about the weekend football because there's a few games and we do predictions and we want to do our predictions now.
There's also a cup final at the weekend.
There's a cup final. So to start off our predictions, we have Celtic back in action against Hotshots Aberdeen. Craig.
Well, I think Aberdeen have found their scoring form now. They're going to fire on, and Celtic are going to try their best to not let the league be won at Parkhead by losing it before then. So it's going to be one each.
Okay. Belmondo.
Yep, I agree. Exactly what Craig said. One each.
Jura.
It's going to be a weird game. I'm actually going to say
I'm gonna go for a bounce
2-1
back from
Aberdeen.
Celtic in the wake of the midweek
Matthew.
stuff. So I'm gonna say 2-0, 2-0 Celtic.
I'm going to go in the same sort of light, a new manager / no manager bounce back. And I'm going to give you 3-0 Celtic. Jesus. Yep. Hibernian v Motherwell.
I think although Motherwell did manage to stop their losing run, I think the losing run will restart today. Not today, the weekend, and it'll be 2-0 Hibs.
Billy.
I'm not copying you, Craig, I promise, but 2-0 Hibs.
Yogi.
I'm going to say 4-0 to Hibs.
That's why
I
you're bottom of the table.
think
Not bad.
He's not bottom table anymore.
I think Motherwell look like they're starting
Whoops.
to try and play.
They go
I think
better
they'll get.
shape.
I think one each. I'm gonna give them some credit.
I'm going to join my comrades and 2-0 Hibs. Kelly v Dundee United.
And that'll be a easy hat trick for Lawrence Shankland. 3-0 Dundee United.
Billy.
Dundee United victory, 2-0.
I'll go
Sure.
I'm
1
going to say
0 Dundee
nothing
United.
each.
Matt. Oh, I think it's time for the return of the Kelly, and I'm going to go 1-0 Kilmarnock.
And that is why you are bottom of the table.
I'm joint bottom of the table, I'll have you know.
I'm first in alphabetical order, so we'll take that one.
We don't go in alphabetical order. We go on the fact that I'm above you in my screen. Anyway, St Mirren v Ross County.
St Mirren will make it 5 draws in a row, and it'll be 1 each.
Bill.
2 each.
I'm gonna go
Sure.
with 0-0. I
2-0
don't think there'll be any
Mirren.
goals.
Matt. I'm going to go 2-1 St Mirren. Because Ross County aren't very good. I'm going to jump over the cup final. We'll come back to that at the end. Is that meant to be there under that? That's not meant to be there. Inverness v Hearts.
Oh, I can see Inverness getting something out of that. I'm going to go 1-0 Inverness.
Billy.
2-1 Hearts.
I'm gonna agree with Craig. I think I can see
Sure.
Inverness getting something, but
2-0
I don't think it's
Hearts.
gonna be all three. I'm gonna go
Matt.
one each.
I am going to say 3-1 to the Hearts. Yep. Air v Arbroath.
Well, I'm really hoping Air can actually do something for a change, and I expect him to win 3-0.
1-3-0.
Win 3-0.
Oh, okay. Billy.
It's close game. I'm going to go 2-1 Arbroath.
Ross, Stuart.
Yeah,
I'm
Air
gonna
really need to get
say
the finger out. So
1-0.
I'm gonna go 2-0. 2-0 to Air.
Matt. Air need to get the finger out. Arbroath are really good. Air are really bad. Woo.
You've gotten more wrong than anyone else so
I don't
far,
want to get
so I
it
wouldn't
wrong.
worry about it.
Fucking hell. 2 each. There you go. There you go. 2 each. Martin Dundee.
I think this is going to be the Boarfest. 0-0.
Bill.
I've got about 20 scores that I think in my head, so I might just roll a dice and see what I get. 2-1 Dundee. I have no idea.
Stuart.
I'm gonna go with
gonna
2-1
follow suit
Dundee.
and also say 2-0 Dundee.
Matt. One nil Dundee. Queen of the South, Dunfermline.
Ooh. I'm going to go 3-1 to Dunfermline.
I'm going to go 1-1.
I think it'll be the
I
opposite. I think Queen of the
Dunfermline
South
will
will win
win
1-0.
1-0.
I'm going to go for a 1 each draw as well. I don't go for many draws, so here we go. And finally in the championship, Wraith Alloa.
1 each.
2-1 Wraith.
I'm going to push the boat out here. 5-0
Christ.
Wraith.
Nah, I don't think it'll be
Against the
5-0
mighty
Wraith.
Alloa. Like, how dare
I'll
you?
go 4-0 Wraith. Be reasonable
Matt.
here.
I'll be reasonable as well, and I'll say 4-1 Wraith. And finally, that brings us to what we've all been waiting for. It is Betfred Cup final weekend. Can we get a whoop whoop?
Whoop whoop.
Yep, thank you. Can't wait for this one. It's going to be great. I'm going to be watching the whole 90 minutes, plus extra time if we need it, plus penalties if we need it, plus the trophy presentation.
If we need
I'm
it.
buzzing. It is Livingston v St Johnstone. Craig, your prediction?
Well, Livingston, they haven't been in the best run of form recently. St Johnstone, they've been on quite a good run of form. But I do believe we will see Nicky Devlin lifting that trophy. And it's going to be 2-1 to Livingston.
Belmondo?
I'm going to go... Oh, Now, is it my result after 90 minutes or after the entirety of the game?
After 90 minutes, you can give us your entirety of the game, but it doesn't count for points.
So after 90 minutes, I think it'll be 1 each. But I do
Thank you.
think that St Johnstone will win after extra time.
I
Sure.
think in honour
I'm
of
gonna
tonight's
say
St Johnstone 11,
2-0 to St Johnstone.
St Johnstone are going to rekindle the form of the 16th of December 2017 with a 3-1 win.
Okay. It's been so long since we've had a cup final with these teams in it, these sort of teams in it. So long since we've had a cup final
Yous aren't in
without
it either.
Celtic in it. Was it 4 years? I mean,
Good. Oh, who said that? Good.
I think it's going to be a really tight one. I think it could go right down to the wire. I'm going to say 2-1 St Johnstone. I could quite easily see it going to extra time.
I think yeah, it will be a good final. Feel for the fans of Livingston St Johnstone. They finally get to the final. Both teams have a reasonably good chance of winning a trophy where they're not playing one of the Old Firm, and they don't
Well,
get
one
to,
of them is going
well,
to
yeah,
win it.
obviously, but so and they don't get to go and see it. But
Yeah, it's one. It's one you really feel for the fans of those teams. They don't often get to Hampden anyway, and they don't often get to finals. So, yeah, I'd be upset if I was a fan of one of those teams that I wouldn't actually get to go and see my team potentially lifting a trophy.
got to see even though
Sadness.
Celtic and Rangers aren't in it, it's not even the teams that put them out that are in the final.
I know.
So
Embarrassing. Because I mean, we would all want a St Mirren Ross County
what a
final.
final that would be. Well, we've got that. We've just not got it in a final. We've got that game though.
That's true. But yeah, that will do us for this Thursday night. We've just gone over an hour, so not bad considering there was only 3 games to talk about and only 2 of them had goals. So I'm gonna let Matt say goodbye after he unmutes himself.
I'm here. Yep, good night everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm glad to be back with better internet.
Glad to have you. Billy Kirkpatrick, so he can go and white himself to sleep.
Yes, thank you, folks, and fond farewell. Good night. May the ball roll kindly for all your games this weekend.
Craig Gregor
Goodbye.
and his dinosaur.
Goodbye.
And the real dinosaur here, Ross Dewar. Any final remarks?
I would just like to thank all the listeners and keep the faith.
Finally, from me, thank you for listening. Thank you for, honestly, if anyone lasted through Matt's St Johnstone 11, congratulations to you. Send us your predictions for the weekend's games and the cup final, and we'll see you on Monday, or you'll hear us on Monday even. Good night, goodbye, God bless.